You've got, oh, the numbers are coming up now.
Okay, we are on live as well. Good evening, everyone. Hopefully you having amazing week. Tuesday, weeks go fast. So today we are going to do, as every Tuesday, cooperative presentation about the new, about Academy Private Investor, about MLCI, Multilevel Crowdinvesting business. And of course, in the end, after the first presentation, there will be as well 8 rules of private investor and capitalization, which is incredible first steps for you to start your financial freedom and financial success. So as all of us know, education is key to success. Okay, so we are waiting. Okay, maybe I need to let me just share my slides. Just give me a second. If everyone can see us, can hear us, please put the plus in the chat as well. If you are excited, you can put 888. Great. I will. That one amazing. Jacqueline. Great. Okay, I will.
Oh, it's Mo's raised his hand. So he's going to do the slides. He's raised his hand, so he'll be in.
He's.
Is that?
Yeah, I will do him.
Okay.
Great.
Right.
Great. No more prepared for our slides, so we'll just be with you. Also, really good is if this is your first time in this presentation, would be great as well if you indicate with the number 1. And if this is your second, third, or fifth time, please put the number 2 so we know what the audience we have. If it's your second time, while we are preparing slides for you, maybe text the last minute to your new partners that there will be awesome presentation by UK Leadership Council by Jacqueline and Mo and me. That would be great as well. Mo, you are ready to say? Okay, great. So we can.
Just give me a second. Hang on. I'm just right. Here you go. Here we are. Hello, everybody. Thank you for making it. I'm just sorting out. There you go. Right. Here you go. Okay. So take it away, Elena, please.
Great. So also we are on Facebook, Facebook Live as well. Glad to see all of you who is listening us from Facebook as well. I'm just gonna share as well here. Great, amazing. So today we are going to give the presentation about Academy Private Investor. We will explain what is behind of new economical evolution of the world, why the study is still so important, about investing. It's not always necessarily about the money as well, but it's as well investing your time and how you can prosper. Well, can we have a next slide? So today we will have amazing people giving you this presentation. I know them really well, especially Mo. I know Mo already since 2017, and I've seen incredible results what Mo show for this company and also for his life. His life definitely been changed since 2017. He's the person who invested a lot of money in his personal development. I know, I don't want to mention the names, but at least 100,000, right, Mo?
It's a lot.
A lot. So it definitely, and Mo show the results as well. So Mo is definitely really bubbly person. He is super experienced in many ways. Also, we're gonna have Jacqueline. Jacqueline also, I know her for 1 year, and so Jacqueline as well show amazing results for this company, for his own structure. All of us, we are here to deliver amazing information how you can, you know, as well benefits. And myself as well, I've been part of
alert from calendar dinner.
Sorry. And myself as well, I've been part of the company for some time, and I will give you as well the presentation in the end. And today's agenda will be, next slide more. We don't. So today, of course, before we start the presentation, for me is really important as well to read out as well compliance and risk disclaimer. So all of you are aware what the terms we're going to use. So we're going to use the terms about education information products. This is our main product in our company. MLCI, this is the business concept, you know, what our company created since 2014, and we are pioneers of the business concept. And of course, one of our main product as well, CRU, which is CryptoUnit internal coins for tokens. And please note, we do not sell and do not have a license to sell shares or tokens. All countries have their own rules for the sales of financial products, and we comply with the law of the country. Most countries allow the sales of information products without a special license, and we do offer opportunity to participating in wealth building training, which provides the fundamental principle on which wealth is created and maintained. And we do not provide financial or investment consultation. And obviously, so as you, if you have special license, you can do so. And the company being out there already since 2014, so we do have plenty of information. I do highly recommend to do your own due diligence or request confirmation from a licensed accountant or financial advisor in your area for compliance with the requirements in your state and country. Next slide. And today's agenda is really a great agenda. I'm looking forward to hear what Mo and Jacqueline will give it to you. So just get ready, take a paper, take a pen, definitely make the note, because usually when you listen to the presentation, only 10%, I believe, take in your head. The notes are definitely important. So we will talk about Academy Private Investor, about as well one of the greatest product VIP club of the private investor, Multilevel Crowdinvesting, and of course the vision, the mission of new economical evolution of the world. And as every Tuesday after the presentation, 1 hour presentation, we do give basic knowledge about financial education. So without further ado, I would love to see our first speaker, Jacqueline. Mo, next slide.
Hi, Lena. Thank you for that. Great. Welcome, everybody. So we're going to start now with our slides. So we're going to talk about the Academy of the Private Investor. It's founded in 2011. We have more than 1,365,000 users from over 175 countries, which means absolutely huge. We are teachers in our academy with a collective experience of 23 years of experience in investment and financial fields. Practical studies in areas of finance, investment and personal growth. And we have real case studies. We go through, you will see our star board of people who have actually gone through the process and have been really successful. Group lessons, individual coaching and mentoring, which is really important in order to support people going through the Academy of the Private Investor. And we have a global online portal with 9 years of expertise. And it was founded by Andre, our CEO, Andre Hobotov. You'll see him later on talk about him later on in the presentation. Next slide, please, Mo. So investment thinking, this is what we're going to look at. I hope you've got your pens and papers ready. Great. So some of you, just put a 1 in the chat, those of you that are familiar with the cash flow quadrant by this gentleman, Robert Kiyosaki. Great. So we have this cash flow quadrant meaning 4. So we have 4 sectors. So let's look at the left side. Brilliant. The ones are coming through. Good. So it's always good. It doesn't do any harm to refresh these things, because I always find that when you go over things, it just reinforces what we need to be underpinning and how we need to be operating as investors and how our mindset should be. So there's no harm in going over things, because you can easily forget. I'm sure you agree with day-to-day life. We sometimes forget, we get thrown off course. So it's really good to come back on track. And this is a really good example, the cash flow quadrant. So on the left side here, we have working. So you have a job. So it's great. You have a job, 9 to 5 or whatever the hours. You may be doing shift work, night work. You have an employer. You're the employee. You may have situations where you think you should have a pay rise. Your boss may not think that may be suitable now, or they determine the value of your job and how you should be working. And so you find that you are reliant on this source of income. Well, what happens if the job is no longer there? We have a situation now today, everybody knows what's happening around the world, and one day you have a job and next day you might not have a job. So what happens if that's your main source of income and you're relying on that job? You have your family depending on you, or other people may be dependent on you. So having a job, it's having that one source can be quite, make you quite vulnerable. So let's go to the other quadrant, part of the quadrant, the entrepreneur. You may think, oh, great, entrepreneur, you know, we work for ourselves, we determine our own hours, we are our own boss, we work when we feel like it. But then if you are not able to work, or if you may be sick or something may happen, you have to go and attend to something else. If you're not working, is the money coming in if everything is dependent on you? So once again, is that something that should be the only source of income in your life if you're dependent on just you to do that work? And once again, you may be an entrepreneur working for yourself, and we have unprecedented times right now. So if what you were doing is reliant on people and people connecting with you and you having to be there, it may not be working for you right now. So let's look at the other side of the quadrant on the right side, the businessman or businesswoman. You own a business and people work for you. Now that's a huge achievement, because you have a team of people, they're reliant on you. You have the pressure of making sure that people are at the business. You have the pressure that if they don't turn up, who steps into that position? You have other people working. You have to make sure those people who you're paying to oversee other people are in place. You have all the payroll to make sure that's managed. Is it a business where if you're not around, it will keep going? Can you disappear and the business works entirely on its own? But once again, we're in a situation where even people who've got businesses, are they having to close those businesses now? Is that still a viable option to have your income? So that's something else to think about. And then we have the other quadrant, the investor, where in brackets it says money works for you. So how wonderful is that? That instead of you having to rely on somebody working for you, and they may be off sick, they may have to go on holiday, they may have other commitments, and it may impact on your business, the money has got legs and the money is going to work for you. And the beauty of the money working for you, money can work while you're sleeping. The money is not dependent on whether it has a tea break, lunch break, holidays, off sick, out, time off. It works round the clock for you. And that is one of the sectors that we will be looking at as we go through our presentation today, to see how it works for you and how powerful this is and how this can change your life. And if we look at the bottom of our quadrant on the left-hand side, where you have working and entrepreneur, we have 10% of the money is owned by 90% of the people. And think about that for a minute. 10% of the money owned by 90% of the people. And if you look at the right side of the quadrant, 90% of the money is owned by 10% of the people. Now, Robert Kiyosaki, he wrote this book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And this sort of saying we have here, 90% of the money is owned by 10% of the people, became very apparent in his life. His father was a very highly educated professor in education, but his father would always be telling him, no, we can't afford this, we can't afford that. And Robert thought, well, why is it that you're so qualified and you've got a really good position, and we can't seem to afford certain things that, you know, that we want? But he had a friend whose father was not as highly qualified or didn't have the education that his father had, but yet his friend's father, they didn't have any problems with what they wanted and what they could afford and the standard of living. So he decided to go and investigate and talk to his friend's father. And then this is how he came about with the book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, because his dad was the poor dad and his friend's father was a rich dad. So, and it was because he was an investor and his money was working for him. And so he had lots of assets that were producing income. And this opened Robert's eyes to how this flow of money and how it works. So he wrote this book, and that's why we have the cash flow quadrant. Next slide, please. Thanks, Mo. So this map here, it's got really lovely colors. I love all those colors, especially those blues and some of those peaches. But when we look deeper and we actually see how much of this map is peach, and we look to the left and we actually look what this is, it actually is quite alarming. So this global map here is what we look at with the level of financial literacy. And it's actually been brought through by a company called Standard & Poor's. Their ratings and data content, they do look at ratings and content in the marketplace. So they're an organization that looks, you have people do market research and things, they look at data in the marketplace. And this is what they've come up with, this research. So financial literacy of the population in percentages. So if we look at the very, very dark areas in Northern Europe, and you've got the UK in there, and very small, if you look around, 71% and more are adults who are financially literate. So when we start looking deeper into this, this is when we start to realize how important this is to be aware of this. And if you look at the slightly less darker colors, so you've got Canada and Australia and those colors, you've got 61 to 70% of adults who are financially literate. And then we go down, 51 to 60%, you've got America and different parts under China there, and certain parts of Europe. You've got France, which is darker and to the left there of Europe, 51 to 60%. And then we go on to those who will be in lots of these countries where it's less than 50% will be unbanked. There'll be people who a lot of them are farmers, or doing producing, exporting, doing a lot of laboring jobs. And a lot of these countries, 41 down to 30%, or less than 50%, are not financially literate. And we, as our organization, which we'll talk about further, and we will remind you, we are looking to try and make 15% of the entire world population financial literate, because it's very important that you understand about finances and how the economy works and how you can better your life and be on the path to financial freedom. But if you imagine this whole section of the world is not financially literate, so this explains why 90% of the people own 10% of the wealth in the world. Let's go to the next slide, please, Mo. But we think, we would like to say we have a solution, and we do this through personal growth, investment courses, and business education in our organization. I say family because we are like a family, really, so I say family. So we have a solution. So training courses aimed at self-development, goal setting and planning, improving financial literacy, formation of investment thinking, learning different business, building methods and strategies. So when we talk about business education, we now have an education license available, and we have the right to be engaged in education certification and have the right to reward and train investment students so that they can become consultants and managers who will help others to grow. So this is really a huge landmark for us that we now have that license available to do this. So imagine, guys, being promoted within the organization. It will be the most sought after roles, giving you the chance to develop with no limits. So you'll be in demand and you can help others to whatever extent you wish globally. You can stay at home and be your own boss. Education and training is your biggest asset in today's market. It's absolutely huge. It's become $1 trillion market. And your knowledge and skills is your most valued asset. So the value of knowledge is a must. And that's what we will try and impart to you about knowledge, and that being your asset. Can you have the next slide, please, Mo? So we have here, and on our next slide as well, we have stories of success. So a lot of people in here, they've started from the beginning in the company, and they've worked with the company and they've made their way up, and it's not been an easy road. Everybody's had their own challenges along the way, families, doubting, people not, you go and sometimes tell people, oh, I'm doing this, oh, why are you doing that? Oh, for goodness sake, go and get a job, it's much easier. So, none of these people on our pictures will be able to say to you, oh yes, I just joined, it was wonderful, it was great, it was all plain sailing. Every single person has a story. And I'm just going to pick one person, a person who doesn't necessarily know me, but I'm aware of in the company, just so that we give you an idea of what people's story can be like. So these are real people and they have real stories. So Andrew Twelftree, some of you may know him, originally from Australia, currently living in the Philippines. And I'm reading out, so bear with me as I'm reading out the story for you. Andrew works as a civil engineer on hot, dusty construction sites in Australia before being made redundant in an economic downturn. Andrew then turned to online marketing, pursuing several different opportunities with limited success. Once he found the academy, this is our academy, a private investor, and applied the strategies it teaches both in the financial education and the business development arena, Andrew has transformed his situation. He is now an international speaker and trainer, coach and mentor to thousands of people. And Andrew has, during this time, also developed an international business and reached financial freedom. All this in just 2 years. And those people who are in our academy will know of him from different parts of the country, and they will know that this is true, and that he's out there very active in the business and helping people, and he loves it. He absolutely loves helping people and bringing people through. And when you come into the organization, if you have that passion, you can use this platform to fulfill that passion to help people in many different ways, but in particular in financial literacy and education. Can you have the next slide, please, Mo? So now I'm going to hand you over to Mo. Lena did an amazing introduction on him. So all I have to say now is I'm going to pass you over to Mo, and he's going to take you on to the next section. Mo, I hand it over to you.
Thank you, Jacqueline. Okay, everyone, please give a whole round of 8s for Jacqueline, just to give her a round of applause. That would be amazing. So a whole round of 8s in the chat, please. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. They're all coming in, Jacqueline. They're all coming in. And thank you very much, Jacqueline. Jacqueline, we've just welcomed Jacqueline back from. She's been away for a while. I believe that you've had a tough time of late with certain family matters and stuff. But we're really grateful to have you back, Jacqueline.
Thank you.
What an awesome presentation that was. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so guys, I don't need to tell you too much more about myself, but thank you to Elena for introducing me earlier. But basically, yeah, I come from a data analyst kind of background. I graduated in physics. I wound up going into a numerate kind of career, wound up becoming a data analyst, and I always worked in the public sector. But that just didn't lead me to happiness, and so I I basically decided that there's something more to life than a normal corporate career. So since 2012, 2013, 2014, I've been plotting my escape from corporate life. And I first became an NLP master, an NLP practitioner, and a hypnotist, and then a coach. And then I've tried lots of different business kind of models. But in 2017, I discovered the Academy of the Private Investor. And I was introduced to it by Elena, which is why we know each other since that long ago. And yeah, I haven't, there's been a little bit of a journey, but in 2019, I really decided to go all in with this business, because when you understand what we have on offer, it's just an absolute no-brainer. So that's a little bit about my background. So we'll go on to the next slide, Mo, please. There you go, Mo. Well done. Thank you. Same thing to myself. Okay, guys. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about the VIP club of the private investor. Okay. So as Jacqueline has already covered, we are primarily an education company. We provide the service of teaching investing education. Okay. So type E in the chat if you understand that education is actually the most important thing. And education, having the right education, is actually what's going to make you rich or not rich. Okay, so type an E in the chat if you believe in education. Excellent, excellent. Thank you, Hanosh. Thank you. Yes, Bryce, that's absolutely right. That's absolutely right. Oh, by the way, Bryce, just to say about your thing, yes, thank you, Elena. Okay, so yes, it's true, because so Robert Kiyosaki, we give him loads of free publicity, and obviously we attribute his cash flow quadrant to him, of course, as well. So we're absolutely totally in line with Robert Kiyosaki. And actually, I've met him a couple of times as well, which is really cool. Thank you, Elena, for that. That's awesome. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about. We know that education is going to be the thing that actually changes your whether you're going to be rich or not rich. Okay, so here's the thing. The next thing is what you're going to get as part of the VIP club, because as well as the education, you can come into our company and you can invest in your education and get a lot of very, very valuable lessons, a lot of which you're going to learn, some of which you're going to learn if you stick around at 8 p.m. For the higher training. But actually, as part of the VIP club in our company, you get to become part of our elite club, which allows you to get massive discounts on our education courses, but also you get these amazing offers, including you get to take part of our CryptoUnit program and our bonuses. Now, who likes bonuses? Put a B in the chat if you like bonuses, okay? If you like free stuff, put a B in the chat. Yes, everyone likes free stuff, and everyone likes free stuff. Could you imagine if you did a course with Robert Kiyosaki, and not only did he teach you, and you pay, and he, you know, how much, in fact, has anyone ever done a course with Rob Kiyosaki or with any of the other training providers like Success Resources or anyone like that? Has anyone ever done anything like that? Do you know how much you would pay for that, for those kinds of courses? What kind of, you know, I know that I've paid for stuff that's, how much did you pay for that, Bryce? How much did you pay for that? And how much do they pay for the upper tier? What do they say? And what about the most upper tier kind of, you know, the personal mentorship and things like that? What do they charge for that? Do you know? But yeah, I mean, you know, some of these things, you know, some of these things are really, really expensive, right? I know that I've paid way more than $100,000 on my personal development thus far. Okay. And yes, I'm gonna tell you about this company. So here's the thing: could you imagine learning from Robert Kiyosaki, and you spend like $5,000 or something on a course, but not only do you get the knowledge, but you also get access to his real estate portfolio or his gold and silver shares, right? Yeah, sure, Bryce. That's absolutely. You know, I'm about to tell you about my company, obviously, but could you imagine what that would be like? Yes or no? Can you imagine that? So, people, do you? Everyone else, can you imagine what that would be like to invest in your personal development and also get a share in that mentor's performance? How awesome would that be? So okay, so I can continue, but I need feedback. So we need to have the more you interact, the more energy you give me, the more energy I can give you. Okay, so put a Y in the chat if you understand that actually it would be awesome to be able to get a share in a wealth trainer's portfolio, right? Put a Y in the chat. Put more Ys in the chat. Okay, okay. Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Fusi. Thank you. Thank you, Wendy. Thank you, Hanosh. Thank you, Jacqueline. Well, so that's basically what we offer with our VIP club. So you get the investment training, but you also get access to our bonuses, which is shares in our portfolio. So you get additional income streams, actual income streams with our company, and with the VIP club, you also get participation in the closed club meetings as well. So where's the slides? Why do they not go? Okay, so if you think about how much would you spend on your higher education? What do people spend on their university education these days? Do you know how much you would spend on your university education these days, right? Oh, well, I think that's in our day, Patricia. Patricia wrote 9,000, but I think that's in our day. But I think that a lot of the kids going to university these days, they are going to walk out with, you know, taking loans that are, yeah, 9,000 a year is probably more right, isn't it? And how about anyone else? Would anyone else like to hazard a guess or just type whatever number you think you would spend on a university education? Okay, what would you spend? I'm looking at the chat. I'm waiting for some answers. What would you spend on a university education? Up to $30,000, probably more than that if you're going to get a doctor's qualification. But here's the thing. Would you agree that a university education doesn't necessarily lead you to $1 million passive income? True or true? Type true if that's true. True, exactly. Okay, let's have some more interaction, guys. Come on. Right, okay. Patricia, true, thank you. Okay, thank you, Bryce. So, true or true? Thank you, Bryce. Thank you for your. It's really great that you're looking for the information, because when you see it, you're going to see it. It's going to be amazing. Okay, thank you, Valerie. Thank you, Hanosh. So, look, these are the courses that we offer, and the different tiers. So the beginner tier is you basically get 3 courses, and then as you can see, as you go across the basic, you get a couple more courses, and then the elementary you get more, and then so on and so forth until you get to the EIP higher education. And we offer basically thousands of hours of education with Andre Havarato, whom we'll tell you a little bit more about later coming up. So these are the prices of our courses. Okay, so remember, you would pay, like, you know, I don't know what did Patricia say, $9,000 a year or something, up to $30,000 for a higher education degree. that doesn't actually make you $1 million passive income, okay? But we offer our equivalent higher education course. Normally we offer it, if you don't come into the VIP club, you get that for $12,725 or UNT in our back office. But if you join the VIP club, then you can get that for 10,000 UNT. And as you can see at the very beginning, the beginner module, you can get for basically 75% off. Okay, how good is that? Is that good or is that good? Type good, because it is good. Okay, UNT is 1-to-1 with the dollar, so it's GBP to dollar, so it's about, I don't know, 80 cents or something. Okay, sorry, 80 pence even to the dollar. So the bonus that you get, as I said, we offer bonuses with our company, as well as getting the education with our company. You also get to partake in a portfolio that we have built that proves that our education works, and you get a share in that. Okay. Elizabeth, Elizabeth, I'm afraid I can't unmute your mic, but you're welcome to type a question in the Q&A or in the chat, and if I can answer it while you're here, I'll certainly do that. Okay. But so we launched our CryptoUnit project in March 2019, and in 2019, that's when 2017 is when I first entered this company, but 2019 is when things changed for me, when I realized what this CryptoUnit really truly was. Type crypto if you are in cryptocurrencies, or if you are aware of cryptocurrencies, or you know that cryptocurrencies are a big thing. Okay, type crypto if you know what cryptocurrencies are. So we've got a bunch of people typing crypto. Okay, so I've been in crypto since the end of 2017. I've seen Bitcoin just crash and all of my altcoins just crash. And then when I discovered this CryptoUnit in 2019, I was all in on this, because what we have is something that is basically shares in our portfolio that pays dividends, which you don't get in from Bitcoin. You don't get a dividend in Bitcoin. You know that with Bitcoin and Ethereum and whatever, you'd have to cash out in order to realize any gains. Whereas with our crypto, it's a security token, which basically means that it's shares in our portfolio, but it's written to the blockchain, which will become more apparent, you know, if you speak to your mentor in this, or the person that is going to register you in this project, if you're willing to do that at the end. But so we've reached all these milestones. We've experienced massive growth in our company in the past year. We've actually gone up from 300,000 people to about 1.4 million people now, and we're going even stronger. And yeah, and right now we're about to transition to stage 2, phase 2 of this project. Okay, so what's in our portfolio? This all comes down to, and we'll talk a little bit more about this later as well, but this comes down to having a diversified portfolio. One of the rules that we teach, which you'll learn later if you stick around. So we're in the education sector, obviously, because that's what we do as a company. We've invented multi-level crowd investing, because we're crowd investing for some really amazing companies. I'll explain to you a little bit more about that in the coming slide. We're in the equity participation sector, the health and longevity sector, the innovative transport and development sector, banking, stock markets, forex, cryptocurrencies, the insurance sector, real estate, all of these really, really awesome things. But you can see how diversified we are. You know, we're in things like culture and science and gold and space development. We're all over we're all over the investment sectors of the market, and as such we've built a very, very balanced portfolio which is always growing because it follows our 8 rules of the private investor, which you're going to learn about if you stick around later. So these are some of the companies that we have, and it's worth noting that our CryptoUnit program, when it started in 2014, was we invested $26,000, and it is worth in excess of $400 million today. Okay, yes, that's right, Elena. And in fact, actually, by the end of last year, it was $100 million. But because of the amount of gold, we've got a number of gold mines, and because of the amount of gold that we have in the ground in our mines, we've actually quadrupled that, even in this environment of the lockdown. Okay, and not only that, our Sushi Master restaurants, because we have our own chain of Sushi Master franchise restaurants, we were opening restaurants in May in the midst of the lockdown. Admittedly, not many people were going to them because everyone was in lockdown, but we were opening restaurants. We've been growing all this time. Okay, so who wants to be able to acquire shares in a portfolio that is always growing and provides a passive income, and you get for free when you buy education with our company? Who would like that? Type a Y in the chat if you would like that. Okay, yeah, lots of Ys. Okay, even more Ys, please. I mean, come on. Thank you, Fusi. Thank you, Ainsley, and thank you, Jacqueline. And yeah, look, you know, we're also in the film industry. This basalt technology, the film industry is amazing. We've got 2 companies, each of which have, let's see if you can guess where they're based. But one of them has an audience of 1 billion people all over the world, and the other one also has another separate audience of 1 billion people all over the world, right? That's right. India is one of them. There's another one. Elstree. Well, you know what? We're not into Hollywood, and we're not into Western. You know, there's a lot of poison that they put out through the media and all this kind of stuff. I don't know if you're aware of the things. It is indeed China, but I believe that you know that already, Ainsley. Come on, I've seen you in the chats. Yeah, so, you know, we have the power to put out really positive messages, right? And this is what our company really stands for. And Elaine is going to tell you a little bit more about this new economic evolution of the world coming up later. So, you know, we've got a whole bunch of different companies. We're in this innovative basalt company, which is actually an ancient technology, but wherever you walk on the earth, there is basalt in the ground, and it can be used in construction. It can be used to replace, like, you know, graphite, carbon fiber. It can be used to line space shuttle, you know, for re-entry. Because let's face it, what can stand heat better than volcanic rock, right? Which is what basalt basically is a product of. But it can be used in the construction industry, all these amazing things. So we've got really big plans for our company and what we're getting into. So what does the CryptoUnit program provide? It provides co-ownership of the CryptoUnit global portfolio. It provides a monthly loyalty program bonus, and also a profit bonus monthly. That's 2 streams of income just for having some of our CryptoUnit coins. And remember, you get these CryptoUnit coins for free if you purchase your education with us after becoming a VIP in our company. Okay, so, you know, you get it for free. It's amazing as a bonus, right? And it brings you 2 streams of passive income. How good is that? Type PI if you love passive income. Type PI if you love passive income, right? Thank you. More PIs, come on, more PIs. Okay, Patricia, Ainsley, come on, it's the same faces that are doing PIs. I want some new faces. Where's Hanosh? We haven't heard from Hanosh for a while. So look, guys, are you getting this yet? So basically, we're an investment education company, and we offered these bonuses, which is a CryptoUnit program, which is shares in a portfolio that we have built that proves our education works and provides passive income for as long as you hold it. That's basically what this is, okay? The CryptoUnit, and it will be competitive with the rest of the cryptos because of what actually sits behind it. It's regulated and transparent financing, so it's on the blockchain, and you know that's just like transparent anyway. The CryptoUnit has value growth due to an increase in assets, and when you understand a bit about capitalization, we'll talk about that later. You'll see what the capitalization of our portfolio and the CryptoUnit can be. You'll get an inkling. And you also get the possibility of circulation of crew through global merchandising. So next slide is, so look, this is what you do. It's a step-by-step. It's a step-by-step. Who likes a step-by-step? We all like a step-by-step, let's face it. So look, the first thing is just register with our company. Go back to the person that sent you to this presentation and go back to them and get their link and register. It's free. And if you do it by, I believe, the 14th of the month, then you will actually get 350 crypto units just for signing up. No money down, you get 350 shares in our portfolio just for signing up. How good is that? Type 350 if you like the sound of that. Type 350 if that's freaking amazing, okay? So you know, some of these shares, you never know what they're going to be worth, but what you do know is that they are going to be paying you a monthly passive income through 2 streams for as long as you hold them, okay? So come on, that's got to be pretty good. The second step is become a member of the VIP club. And then you actually receive, you know, if you choose the right EIP, well, actually, you have to become a member of the VIP club so you can get hold of the crew tab, and then actually you actually receive your bonuses. And then you choose the right EIP for you, and you've seen what there is, and you can get even more bonus crew that way. Remember, it comes as a bonus. And then, you know, just take actions and go for it. Okay, so that is basically my section, and now I am going to hand you over to the person that registered me originally in this company, to whom I am so grateful for getting me involved. And yeah, Elena, honestly, you're such a magical human being, and to see the growth that you've had since I've known you for the past 4 years, like who you were then and where you are now, like I think that you're a real shining light for what is possible in this company. So I hope that you're going to tell us some of your story to begin with, and then yeah, the floor is yours right now. Thank you very much, Ainsley. That's great. So everyone, please give a round of 8 in the chat to welcome Elena Pepina, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Mo. Thank you, Jacqueline, and thanks everyone who is watching us and getting this incredible information. As always, every time when I hear the presentation, I again and again want to sign up. It's definitely great. And yeah, I'm going to give the presentation, which is one of the key points as well for our company about MLCI, our multi-level crowd investing. And for sure, this business concept gave me more confidence in this company and more freedom, what actually Jacqueline been talking about. I'm involved in a business as an entrepreneurship. But my little story as well, I'm originally from Latvia and I came to London back to 2009, of course, as any Eastern European people, you know, getting more knowledge or getting more money. So this was my decision as well. So I went away from my family to have, you know, this experience. And myself, of course, I'm not coming from rich family as well as lots of people. And for me, the mindset was always, you have to work hard to have the money. But when I came here to London, obviously I would face many financial difficulties, especially when my daughter born. And I realized I am going exactly the same path where my parents and where my grandparents, and I have to make massive decision and I have to start learn new ways how I can earn money. And most importantly, as a mother, I have to spend lots of time with my daughter. I couldn't work. So there was the really massive gap. And back to 2017, I choose to do the business, MLCI business in this company. That gave me more freedom, more money, more time for my daughter. Who doesn't like that? And especially in this time when there is pandemic out there, many people, many businesses losing the money. Unfortunately, a lot of businesses are closing down. And as all of us, we know, if you follow, you know, technologies, robotization coming. So this definitely is the best skill. And I will explain about multi-level crowd investing. Next slide. And while obviously, as Jacqueline been telling you about our beautiful Academy Private Investor, where education is the key, while you're learning all the packages one by one, you also can earn extra money. It can be 300, 400, 1,000, 10,000, it's all down to you, but it's possible. Next slide. So what the company created since 2014, when company being officially launched back to 2014, we created prestige business concept, which called multi-level crowd investing. And soon will be 6 years. We work so successfully and we combine two amazing business concepts which been out there already for 70 years. So we combine multi-level business, which probably it's kind of relating with network marketing. First time when I heard about network marketing, obviously I was really, as a white page, I didn't know what does it mean. I only knew you can earn loads of money and I have to do loads of research. But what this gives business to give to the people, it's give the freedom. Most of the network marketing companies, of course, selling the products, the beauty products, services, etc., etc. Here, of course, we are doing completely different. Our products are VIP. Our products are our education information packages. And while you are changing person's life, while you are telling about this project, you can earn extra by helping others, right? So through the business, you can, while earning the money, you can have plenty of the training. As Jacqueline as well was telling, we have amazing mentors, amazing business trainers who has years experience. And you can do this business from the home. I manage, since I've been doing this business, I managed to do the business from the home. And it's definitely incredible. It's give you the freedom. At the moment, I'm in Latvia. I don't have to be in London to be in one place. So I am my own boss. I set up my plans. I set up my goals. This is what I want to earn and I work for it, right? So you can do loads of trainings, loads of presentations through to online. Of course, nothing is easy. You have to work hard, not clever, smart. Is the right word. And of course, you can choose and have unlimited income streams. Usually people have 1-2 income streams. Here, you can create as much as you like. And most importantly, you can fast realizing your dreams. Dreams definitely, you know, will allow you to live life much better. And you're not only going to survive, you will live. And investment businesses. So along with our company as well, you can do investment consultant training as well, and companies slowly as well finishing off all the licenses as well, and eventually through our education, of course, you can become as investment consultant. Create your own assets, create your own investment portfolios, because here we are with same-minded people who are looking for, you know, different investing, because this is what we teach in our company. And of course, this business is prestige. The more people are hearing all about us, you know, they are so amazed how incredibly we create this business. Next slide. Are you excited? Yeah, definitely. Great. And as I did mention, the company being officially launched back to 2014, I was the lucky one. I seen how the company grew from a couple hundreds, now couple thousands, and even million. We have already registered partners more than 1.5 million. We have many presentations, not just in English language, but Spanish language, Latvian, Hindi, Manipuri, different languages. I do believe we need to change. It's not anymore 11. I think the last webinar was 12 languages. And since we've been in a company, obviously, as I mentioned, more than 1 million people. And through the business, and this is the magic number, and I never seen this before, through the networking business, we paid out to the network more than 98 million to the people. Imagine what the checks are. It's possible. Next slide, Mo. Great. And of course, my story is my story. Everyone have own unique story. All of you, you are amazing, and you are making your story. But I also would love to read one of the story from really great person. Is he here? Or next slide? Drew. He's not there. Yeah, Drew. I know Drew. He's from India. You can see the third person. Drew, he's from India. I met him a couple times actually, and he also involved in this company since. And please allow me to read his story. Drew, he is resident of Balramup from India, a village with a population of 2,000 people. Now I live in Raipur, Chhattisgarh, excuse me if I can't pronounce. So he's coming from a poor family. He completed mechanical engineering in 2015 by teaching education, loan, and tuition. I'm also a social worker. From 2015, 15th of November till 2016, 14 September, he worked as a personal assistant in Ambikapur. From 15 September to 2016 to 20 of February 2018, he worked as a manager in NGO Abash social organization in Jarahi. Meanwhile, Academy of Private Investor got the information, so he read everything about the company. He registered back to 2017. He worked in the media in charge, so he registered, and then 2018, he became a top leader in this company, only in 1 year's time. It's also clear that through such an education, there is an opportunity to join 10% of the people in financial literacy in this education in different states of India. Seminars and social media like Facebook, YouTube, technical, Instagram, Telegram, Twitter, LinkedIn, started telling people about this opportunity. And February 2019, he joined the company Asian Pacific Summit, Malaysia, and increased my knowledge by meeting the CEO and other foreign leaders of the company. And 2019, when we started CAU program, he enjoyed so much that he took the international training and give the same education to the team. Right now, he is member of Leadership Council, Global Leadership Counseling member of NEEW Community, international speaker, master profi educator, private limited director, and working build a global business. And he has more than 222,000 people in his structure. Imagine, he's coming from the poor family. So anything is possible. So well done, Drua. All respect to you. It's possible. So of course we have many other stories. Next slide, please. Many other stories as well. So, and again, so what the advantages multi-level crowd investing can give it to us? So you can be your own boss, as Jacqueline was saying as well. So Robert Kiyosaki talks about the left side, but we are leading people to be the right side, to be your own boss, to do the international business. You have and you can have unlimited earning potential. Everything is down to you. Everything is down to education. The more you're gonna know, the more you will be able to earn. It's not secret. It's definitely not the secret. You can do it, and you can do unique business model. We are pioneers of this business. And of course, you can create massive leverage across entire network. Great, next slide. Entire network. So again, so if you listening for the first time, if you haven't registered, as Mo was saying, and I remind you again, please go to the person who invited you here. So register in the company, read all the terms, conditions, read all the education. We do really important have to do the KYC in our company. And of course, you choose your package based on your knowledge, based on your current financial situation. Definitely implement everything what you learn in your company. And we do have all these mentors. Always go back to the person who invited you, or go to local or global leaders, which we have currently in our company globally. Next slide. So this obviously we need to a little bit change it in a way, but we still have remaining like 350 CIU points, but it's for those who are becoming as a VIP member from the first time. So the 1st July till 14 July, all the people who are becoming as a VIP member, you will receive from the company as a gift 350 CIU points. Again, all depends what the level you are in our company. Our VIP starts from the $10. And as every Tuesday and Thursday, we do the presentations and the trainings. Mo was mentioning as well, every weekend, Saturdays, we have different trainings or summary meetings. Next slide, please. And again, all the leaders who are in our company, Mo and Jacqueline, personally for me, I can talk from my side. I love, of course, CIU program. We all love the development of the company, but most of the people, when they are joining the company, they need to know the big why I am doing this. And this is what personally leads myself to do what I am doing today. And this is the vision, the philosophy of our company, which is new economical evolution of the world. When Jacqueline was talking about the Robert Kiyosaki quadrant, of course, we know there are 19% of the people who have 10% and 10%, 90%. But if we look in a real world, there are 1% who are leading our world. We are dependent on someone. They are owning the companies. They are telling what we need to do. Here in this company, we want to give the power to us as a people, as a human being. So we want to distribute this global wealth. Imagine all these companies, what Mo was mentioning, we can be part of it. How exciting is that? No one else done this before. And imagine now, when you are part of all these companies, when we are eventually start generating the passive income for you, when eventually you start earn money from the business, when you're not gonna have any more worries about the money, how I'm gonna feed my kids, how I'm gonna go on holidays, how I'm gonna pay for this education, you will feel more secure, and it's not secret. And automatically you will help others, because this is the beautiful thing what we can do for others. You can have millions, trillions, I don't know what the amount of money, but this is not going to make you happy, trust me. The happiness will be when you're going to help to others, and other person going to come to you. And of course, after that, and even now, you can start realizing your dreams, because we have to live in a dream every single day. This is how we're supposed to live. And this is our mission, our vision, to give equality for us as a people. No more this slavery, no more struggles. And when we're going to live like this happy world, we will be more healthier. We will not going to age as much. But of course, we need to take the step by step. Next slide. And for us to make this step by step, we have to follow these three main pillars. Why people don't have the money, why people losing the money, because lack of education. And you see from this survey what Jacqueline been talking about. It's really important. We need to have these progressive people. So when we talk about the education, it's really serious matter. Co-ownership, as I mentioned, we can be part of these high leading companies, film industry, diamond production, gold, everything what you're going to use as a consumer, you will receive the money. Imagine your local shop or your coffee shop or whatever where you're paying the money or movie, you will receive back. And the more you're going to receive, the more company going to create more companies you will be able to invest. So everything what is going to be around us, we can own it. And automatically, of course, you're doing the business. So these three main pillars are so important as education, as co-ownership, as a business. Next slide. And of course, these 10 people are part of our presidential council. These definitely people have, for myself, I have massive respect. They are putting a lot of work for companies' development. Even we're gonna be 6 years old, but we still little, well, we don't have as 10, 20 years. So these people who are part of our company presidential council, they are thinking and making the company much stronger. They are working literally day and night. I know these people personally who are making these all strategical plans. Of course, they've been in the company almost from the beginning, so they have the knowledge from different direction. And you can see all these people in our closed meeting webinars and also summary webinars. So great, definitely great people, great professional. I have big trust. And one of the person, of course, is our CEO, Andre Havrato, who is carrying this big mission. And of course, we are helping and making this company bigger and bigger. Next slide. And the question is to you. What will be your decision? Are you happy where you are today? Or maybe you want to improve? Maybe you want to improve your education. Maybe you want to improve, you know, your neighbors or your family life. Remember, everything what's happening in your life, it's all your responsibility. Everything is in your hand. I always say it's like when you are cruising in a sea with a ship. You are like shipman, like shipman, yeah, when you're shipping. So you take the direction you. So make your own decisions. And remember, once you're gonna make the decision, if you believe universe, if you believe the God, trust me, suddenly the information, the people start gonna come to you They will guide you. They will give you to this information. Just make the decision. And here you definitely can have financial investment education. It's definitely helped me a lot. Me as a single mother, I can confidently say I know where I'm going and I don't have to struggle financially, either in my family, because I made my decision. Here you can create multiple passive income streams. Some people today don't have none. Some people are relying on the benefits. Now here you can create multiple income streams. It only depends how badly you want to have it. And most importantly, what I like in this company, I can be part of same-minded people. Definitely, we have the positive environment. We are helping each other. If you want to cry, you can call someone and cry. If you want to have support, you can call. So we have this community where we are pushing this new economical evolution of the world, where we are pushing blockchain, CRU. So we have all this education. And of course, create different assets, because we teach in our company, not and never rely on only one income stream. Always search for more assets, more investment opportunities. So we are sharing, we have the groups, and we are doing everything for our people. And most importantly, opportunity to leave the legacy. Because remember, we always need to kind of as well focus what we're gonna leave behind. Either you have a kid or you have a family members who are the kids. Here in this company, remember, you can be remembered for the next generations to come. I cannot remember my great-great-grandmother. Here, imagine you will be remembered from your family members more. Jacqueline, oh my God, they have made something for me, this global portfolio, or they done this, or they teach me how to manage the money. How incredible is that? So everything is down to you. Thank you so much for listening to me. Hopefully you get the benefits from Jacqueline, and you have great understanding. The next part will be done by Mo about 8 rules of private investor and capitalization. And myself, I will see you really, really soon. And thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Okay, guys, thank you so much to Elena. So everyone, please give a round of 8s in the chat to give Elena a round of applause. That would be amazing. And also put a round of 7s in the chat for yourselves as well, for making it through for, like, you know, it's been just over an hour and 10 minutes or something. So we're pretty much on time. It's not so bad. Excellent, and put a round of 6s in the chat if you're looking forward to learning like some free training from our own actual company. I'm going to teach you the 8 rules of the private investor, and I'm also going to teach you a little bit about capitalization as well. Okay. So get yourselves a glass of water, get a notebook, get a pen, and and get ready to take some notes. Okay, and experience a little taster of what we're actually about here and our actual education. Okay, let me just switch to my other slides, and then we will go ahead. Okay. Slideshow and start from the beginning. Excellent. I've got all of the right people lined up, but if we don't, okay, let's unhide that very quickly, and I think that will do. Okay, cool. So start from beginning, and I will start my presentation. Okay, so oh, share screen again. Here you go. Okay, excellent. Okay, guys, so investment basic training. So, okay, guys, let's have some energy in the chat, please. Let's have some more energy in the chat. Stick a whole bunch of 8s in the chat just to say, I've got energy, I'm looking forward to learning. Put a whole bunch of 8s in the chat right now, please. Thank you. Thank you, Yasmin. Thank you, Yasmin. Lucy, thank you. Sydney, Valerie, awesome. Thank you, guys. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so let's go. In this program, I'm going to teach you about the 8 rules of the private investor. I'm going to teach you about financial plans, the secrets of capitalization, what you can do next in order to live your dream life in the next 3 months, actions and next steps. Okay. So again, you already know who I am, so I'm not even going to cover this again. But basically, my name's Mo Rahman, and I've been in this company since 2017. And I've done a whole bunch of wealth training since 2014, mindset, coaching, and also wealth training, including I have actually been at dinner with Robert Kiyosaki and Kim Kiyosaki. That's actually happened. I've got photos to prove it. Which is really cool. So, you know, I've invested loads in my personal development, and the reason being that my astrophysics degree didn't make me rich, and neither did my career in the public sector. And all of my peers, you know, who might be doctors or might be CEOs of their companies or CEOs of their charities or whatever, right? They're not heading towards a millionaire passive income kind of lifestyle, because there's something else that they don't teach you in the normal environment. Okay, so look, the question is not how much you earn, it's do you have sufficient financial knowledge to save and multiply your hard-earned money. Okay, so put a K, type a K in the chat if you understand that knowledge is actually the thing that's going to get you from A to B in terms of your finances and where you want to go. Put a K in the chat. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Applied knowledge, yes, exactly. That's exactly true. You've got to actually put it into practice, right? So look, here's the thing. For most people, they have a portfolio that looks like this one on the left. Okay, they have a salary and they put some money aside for a pension, and then they hope that that's what that's gonna keep them going after they retire. So type me in the chat if that is you right now. Okay, and it's okay for that to be you right now. So type me in the chat if that's you right now. Okay. Oh right, okay, still Ainsley, really? I mean, you've been in the company for a while, but do you know what? You've got passive income. I know you've got passive income. Anyone else? Surely there are some other newcomers that for whom you pretty much all you've got is a salary and their pension. Anyone else? Okay, look, so here's the thing. This is what the rich do, okay? The rich have a portfolio, okay? They don't just have a salary and a pension, but they have investments. They might have property, they might have gold, they might have like funds, they might have companies that they got into pre-IPO and various things, insurances, whatever, right? Lots and lots of stuff. I mean, you can see the difference. Put a Y in the chat if you see the difference between the left and the right, okay? And put a Y in the chat if you'd prefer to be on the right-hand side here, to have the portfolio of the rich. Put a Y in the chat. Put a Y in the chat now. Yes. Yes, okay, thank you, thank you. Remember guys, the more energy you give me, the more energy I can give you, because, you know, it's difficult to know if you're actually making an impact on people if there's no audience in front of you. All I've got is a camera. Do you know what I mean? So thank you for your interaction. Okay, so next slide. So these are the 8 rules of the private investor, very, very quickly. Okay, the first thing is you need to understand certain terminology. I know that when I first started, before I ever read Robert Kiyosaki, I didn't know what assets and liabilities were. I just assumed that, like, yeah, you know, my car would be written off as an asset. My house, you know, would be written off as an asset. But, you know, since doing all this kind of wealth training, you learn different. You understand about cash flow as well. But yeah, you know, you've got to understand what the difference is between financial independence and financial freedom. You've got to understand what the difference is between investments and investing, like what true investing really is. We also teach a thing called the 5 commandments of the investor, which is the second rule. So the 5 commandments is you got to save 10% of your income and pay yourself first. Okay. You'll notice that a lot of the wealth training knowledge is the same, but it comes to different people at different times, and when it makes sense, it's like, of course I've got to teach this stuff. So you save 10% of all your income. Maintain a strong income and expenditure control. Protect your money from losses. Learn how to invest, and always be learning how to earn more. Okay. Next, you have to have a financial plan. Rule number 4, you've got to diversify. Remember, our portfolio is massively diversified. It's why we're always growing. Okay. Well, actually, it's rule 8 is why we're always growing. But you know, we're also diversified, which is why we've been performing really, really well in this shutdown environment. You've got to maintain your investor discipline. That's basically, you've got to follow the plan and know that you've made a plan and just know to follow it. Don't be greedy. Don't be greedy just because something changes and you decide, whoa, actually, you know what, maybe I want to buy more of that thing. Don't do that because you have a plan. Don't be greedy, but also don't be lazy. Always be learning new knowledge. Always be learning new things. All of the wealth educators, they always have another mentor. Okay. And rule number 8, of course, is always learn to be increasing your income. Basically, compound your gains. That's really what that means. So, rule number 1, you've got to understand the terminology. So, what's the difference between financial freedom and financial independence? Let's see if we can go to the next slide. My keyboard just sometimes works and sometimes doesn't work. Okay, so financial independence. Who knows the difference between financial independence and financial freedom? Type in FF or an FI, depending on whether you think financial independence or financial freedom is better. Which would you prefer right now? And then I'll tell you what the difference is. So would you prefer to be financially independent, FI or FF? What would you prefer to be right now? Oh, FF right now, please. Yes, okay, Jacqueline. Is there anyone that thinks FI is what you want to be right now? Anyone? Got a bunch of FFs. Okay, so look, financial independence is basically having savings in the bank. Okay, so if you have enough savings in the bank to cover you for a significant amount of time, to cover all of your expenses, assuming that you know the expenses don't go up over time, then you know, let's say you can go for 10 consecutive years, you're financially independent. Okay, but financial freedom is a different beast. Financial freedom is actually about knowing that your expenses are covered and you are making in excess of your expenses from just the normal cash flow coming into your account, preferably through passive income. Type a PI in the chat again if you want passive income. If you understand that passive income would be amazing, right? You don't have to work again because you have money working for you. Type PI in the chat if passive income makes you excited. Okay, more PIs in the chat, more PIs. There's a bunch coming in, but I need more. I need more PI. I need more PI. Exactly. So financial freedom is having enough passive income that it eclipses your outgoings, your expenses. Okay. Yes. So that's the difference between FI and FF. Okay, so who wants to be an FI now and who wants to be an FF now? I mean, come on, obviously you want to be financially free. Okay, I don't need to ask that question. The next thing is, you know, thank you again to Robert Kiyosaki for clarifying this one. What's the difference between assets and liabilities? Okay, I was having a conversation with my neighbour, my next door neighbour yesterday. We went and got chips. And I said, do you know what the difference is between assets and liabilities? And he said, well, you know, I was like, what about your property? What about your car? And he's like, well, they normally tell me to write it off as an asset. Who recognizes that from financial advice, traditional financial advice, right? But exactly, they are liabilities, because an asset is something that brings you a net gain, okay? Whereas a liability is something that brings you a net loss, okay? So look, right now, if you had a car, what would you expect that it would be? Would that be an asset or would that be a liability? Yeah, okay, it would be a liability. Put an L if you think liability, put an A if you think asset, okay? Liability, I mean, you know what? You guys are quite educated already, I can see. Is there anyone that thinks it's an A? I mean, I kind of already gave it off. Oh yeah, but if you paid off your house, exactly. If you paid off your house and, well, so here's the thing, it would still be a liability because it still has, it still needs a new lick of paint occasionally. It still has maintenance costs to maintain a house, right? But unless you have rental income coming in from a tenant, for example, that is paying for all of that, then actually it's not providing you a net gain, it's providing you a net loss. So that's the difference between assets and liabilities. Assets provide you with a net gain consistently, okay? Whereas liabilities provide you with a net loss, okay? Yes, exactly, unless you are receiving rental income, in which case it's providing a net gain. Exactly, thank you, Ainsley. Thank you for the interaction. So the next thing is, what's the difference between investments and investing, okay? So investments, right, who knows the difference between investments and investing? It's actually really obvious. I'm not even going to ask the question, right? Investments are basically tools that you can invest in that are going to grow your capital, okay? So if you have shares in something that are going to provide a monthly dividend, okay, like our CryptoUnit, okay, or like traditional stocks and shares that you get on the stock exchange, or if you have a house that is providing passive income through rental income, that's an investment, okay? If you have gold or crypto that's going to go up in value, that's an investment, okay? It's an investment tool. I'm afraid that I can't actually take live questions, so thank you for your raised hands, but if you type your questions in the chat, I am monitoring the chat as we're going through, and I will be happy to answer your questions if I can, okay? So investing is simply the act of making investments, okay? So that's the difference between investments and investing, okay? So next rule of the private investor is rule number 2, which is to follow the 5 commandments of the private investor. And the first one, as any decent wealth trainer, including T. Harv Eker, you know, will tell you that it's worth their salt. You've got to pay yourself first. Bob Proctor teaches the same thing. You've got to save 10 to 30% of your income, okay? But not only that, you've got to put it into something that's going to grow, okay? But the point is, you pay yourself first. The next commandment is to control your expenses. Make sure that you are spending less than you are earning. Make sure that you are always earning more than you are spending. Control your expenses. You need to protect your money. And a lot of protecting your money is actually about learning how to grow it, and what's going to wind up costing you money in charges, and what's going to wind up bringing you money through just wisdom. Learn to invest wisely, okay? And always learn to earn more, because if you can create more cash flow for yourself, then you can, then your 10 to 30% of your income that you're paying yourself first with every month is growing and growing anyway. And then if you're investing that into something that is growing and growing and growing anyway, then the whole thing escalates and it becomes a massive golden goose, obviously, right? So that's rule number 2, okay? For some reason, we've got the investing slide after that. But anyway, here's a Here's a little exercise you can do if you like. I actually did this all throughout my 20s when I was being made redundant from my first job. I had to really closely monitor my expenses because I had monthly outgoings, but a weekly incoming. And in order to make sure that I had enough in my bank account, such that my monthly outgoings were always taken out at the right times, I had to know, like, this is how much I got this week, this is how much I need to make sure is in my account in order to meet that payment that's going out on that date. And so I did exactly this. And it's amazing to see that this is one of the things that we teach in this organization as well. Basically, if you were to come up with a spreadsheet where you list all of your monthly expenses, like your car, your holiday, your business trips, your rent or your mortgage, you know, what it costs for your food and your entertainment and blah, 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 right? How much you budget and also how much you actually are spending. So you monitor it. And then you also log what your sources of income are. And remember, for most people, they only really have a salary, maybe a little bit left over from the previous month. And, you know, their pension, not that that is necessarily something that is an income. Okay. If anything, that becomes an expense, something that you're paying into every month. So I remember Elena making a really great point that with the poor and the middle classes, they'll tend to have small, you know, fewer streams of actual income than they do streams of expenditure. Okay. Look at how unbalanced this particular chart is, right? This example is, you've got 6 streams of income to 14 streams of expenditure. But when you are in the rich classes or the wealthy or the elites, trust me, you have more streams of income than you do expenses. And that is a real secret of wealth. So you can go away and do this. So guys, put an 8 in the chat if you've learned something already. Put an 8 in the chat if you've learned something already. If you can see how a lot of this stuff, because you don't learn this stuff in school, you've got to figure it out for yourself. And not everyone does figure it out. I was lucky that I did figure it out for myself in my 20s, but you know, still it would have been great if someone told me. It should have been done at school, but they don't, do they? Right? Exactly, when Jacqueline, exactly. So look, rule number 3 is have a financial plan. Now, it's all very well having a really long-term goal, saying, yeah, I want to be like a billionaire, and you know, I want to, you know, I don't know when that will happen, but I know it's going to happen in future, right? But it's another thing knowing that you have steps that are going to take you there. And maybe your milestones in a long-term goal are going to be achieving your midterm goals. Okay, so you need to have a midterm plan as well. And also maybe the milestones in reaching your midterm goals are going to be reaching your short-term goals. So if you have a monthly goal, a monthly short-term goal for what you want to do, you know, that's having a financial plan. Okay. I'm so sorry, those of you that are trying to raise your hands, I can't unmute you. So please ask your question in the chat or in the Q&A, and I will get to that in due time. Okay. But we've got to press on. So look, a financial plan is a comprehensive list of the evolution of an investor's current and future financial state by using currently known variables to predict future cash flows, asset values, and withdrawal plans, etc., etc. And financial planning is basically, you know what having a financial plan is. Financial planning is the act of actually making a plan. Okay. Always be making your financial plans and dreaming about the future. Okay. And this is why you need it. You need to create capital so that you can invest in things that are going to provide you with passive income. Put a PI in the chat again if you're excited about passive income. Okay, more PIs in the chat. Let's have some PIs. Exactly, PI with a pip on the end. Pip. PI. Exactly. You know, what you want. Most people are expecting that a pension is going to be that form of passive income. But if you are my generation, and I am just in my 40s now, if you're my generation, then you will know that your pension is not going to be worth anything. It ain't going to pay for anything when we reach pension age. Okay, you cannot rely on your pension. You need to create your own passive income streams right now. Okay, if you want, certainly get financial advice for how you're going to do that. But certainly, you need to be creating you need to have a plan. Okay. Maybe you need to accumulate for your children's education to put them through university and stuff. Maybe you're going to need to buy a new car at some point, or you want to buy new property, or you want to invest in your own business to provide your own self with a pension and your own passive income in future. Okay, maybe you want inheritance capital for your kids. Okay, so these are the reasons why you need a financial plan. So rule number 4. You've got to diversify your assets. If you were at the presentation earlier, then you would have come to understand that our global investment portfolio, upon which our CryptoUnit program is based, the investment portfolio, which basically proves that what we teach works. Okay, the reason it's grown from, it was actually $100 million at the very beginning of this year, to $400 million already this year alone, is because we don't have all of our eggs in one basket. We have a significant amount of gold in the ground, in the form of our gold mines. Okay, and that has come to our rescue while the stock market has crashed, and while our other revenue streams like our Sushi Master restaurants kind of weren't receiving anyone into their shops because of the lockdown, but gold came to our rescue. So basically, diversify. Don't have all of your eggs in one basket. Type D in the chat if you believe in diversification. Okay, type D's in the chat. Type D's in the chat. Let's have some more D's. And guys, honestly, please ask questions as well in the chat. I'm really happy to receive questions. Okay, I'm so happy for questions. Okay, Miriam, welcome. Thank you. It's the first time I've seen you comment. Anyone else? Anyone new commenting? Fusi, thank you. Great energy. Ainsley and Jacqueline, of course, amazing energy. Thank you. Let's have some more energy in the chat, guys. Hi, Richard. Oh, Richard, we always love Richard. He's always here every week, every Tuesday. Such a pleasure to see you. And Stella had a hand raised, so yeah, you can type a question. We're happy to answer. Rule number 5: stick to your plan. You've made a plan. Stick to your plan. If you're constantly redefining your plan, you're not sticking to a plan, and therefore actually you are being overly emotional. Okay, which actually leads to don't be greedy, which really means don't be so emotional. Don't be greedy to capitalize on things. Okay, the world changes, okay? However, sometimes, especially things like crypto, who was in the crypto market around 2017, 2018 when it reached its all-time high? Put a Y in the chat if you were in the crypto market back then. I know there was a Bryce who was in here who said that he was in crypto quite early, okay? So if you would have got in to crypto at the very end of 2017, the beginning of 2018, when everything was getting so exciting, right, you would have been being greedy. And what would have happened? What would have happened if you'd have done that? Ainsley, you typed a Y. What would have happened? You can answer. Let's see what Ainsley has to say. And to be honest, you're probably writing something wordy, but I don't like having dead air, so I'm just going to say what happened. Right after that event, that all-time high, there was a catastrophic retrace. Okay, now I didn't have financial knowledge at that time. I do now. I've got investment knowledge now, but thanks to this company, yeah, and basically, crypto is a really risky asset. Really risky. You don't want to have all of your net worth in crypto. that would be kind of, that would not be so wise. Go and see a financial advisor. I'm not a financial advisor. I can't give you financial advice, but I can tell you from personal experience that I'm very glad that I don't just have crypto. So rule number 7, educate yourself. Educate yourself, learn about why certain investments are good, and just be open to the knowledge. Okay. Oh, Ainsley, you don't have to apologize. You never have to apologize. You do so much work. I've seen you. Yes, educate. You've got to educate yourself, and you've constantly got to be learning. The one thing, if you ask any wealthy person that has a significant net worth, they will tell you that they always have a mentor. They always have a mentor. They're always investing in their education. They will tell you that they prioritize time for thinking, reading and thinking. Type a WB in the chat if you have heard of Warren Buffett. Okay. Warren Buffett is the most successful, he's one of the most successful investors in the world. Okay. His fund, Berkshire Hathaway, each share of Berkshire Hathaway A, which is the equivalent of our CryptoUnit share, is actually worth, like, it's worth a house, each one of his shares, like $300,000 at their peak. At the moment, about $275,000. Okay. Thank you very much, Jacqueline. I love giving these trainings. Yeah, like, you know, Warren Buffett, each one of his shares, $275,000 right now, something like that per share. Okay. And he said all he does is he is reading about what to invest in. Okay, he's reading up about the markets, he's doing his fundamental analysis on the markets, and he makes time for thinking, okay, and educating himself. So you've got to educate yourself. Rule number 7, always be educating yourself. Okay, which brings me to rule 8. Always be multiplying your investment for profit. Okay, what this really means is compound your gains. So just because you've made gains, this is not what people really do in Bitcoin. A lot of people are hoping that Bitcoin's going to go to $1 million or whatever, you know, and then they're going to cash out. But who's going to buy at $1 million? I'm not. So you know, you need to have things that are creating cash flow. Another awesome thing that, and we've got our own game, it's called Genius of Finance. But Rob Kiyosaki created a game called Cash Flow, which basically teaches you that it ain't about having assets, it's about having cash flow. And we teach the same thing with our game, Genius of Finance, and it is a lot more involved than cash flow. You actually even need a calculator and a pen and notes to play this game. So yeah, and look out for the app, that's coming soon. So that's awesome. I've actually never played Genius Finance, I have to be honest, but it's certainly on my list. But Ainsley can tell you about it clearly. And so can some of the other trainers that are here today. So, okay, everyone, please type an 8 in the chat to give yourselves a round of applause and to acknowledge that you have learned something of the 8 rules of the private investor tonight, okay? Please type an 8 in the chat. Let's have some energy. Let's have some more energy, some more energy, some more energy. Let's type some more 8s in the chat. 8, 8, 8, 8, 8. 8 is a magic number. It is the number of, I don't know, prosperity and abundance. And it's a number that I know that Andre pays attention to. Andre being the CEO of our company, who's authored most of, well, basically is the originator of our training content, okay? Abundance, yes. Zenny, hello, nice to see you. Angela, hello, first time we've heard from you tonight. Still no questions in the Q&A and no questions in the chat, but please, you know, ask questions, happy to answer them if we can, and, you know, usually we do. Okay, so 8 wonders of the world in the 8th wonder of the world in the world of finance is actually compounding, okay? So look, the training continues, compounding. compounding interest versus cumulative interest. Okay, so I could read the words, or I could just tell you that compounding is basically when you make gains. Let's say you put 10% away, and then you put it into something that is delivering you passive income and delivering you gains monthly. Then compounding your gains is to take, because your 10% has now grown, as well as you had your original 10% that still comes in, you've got even more 10% from your investing, okay? And so then your 10% has grown, so you then reinvest that, and then that generates an even greater thing that is a greater 10%, and you're compounding, okay? Whereas cumulative interest, that's more likely what you're going to get in things like the bank or something. It doesn't compound the interest on the interest on the interest. It only is just on the capital. Okay, so let's read this one actually. Cumulative interest. This is the sum of all interest payments on the loan for a period of time. For a depreciable loan, cumulative interest will increase with a decreasing rate. Since each subsequent periodic payment of a loan, it represents the higher percentage of the principal amount of the loan and the smaller percentage in its interest. Okay, basically you want to be compounding. That's the whole point, and they don't teach it at school because they don't want you to know. Okay, so put a compound in the chat if you want to be compounding and you know that you want to be compounding. Type compound in the chat. Type compound in the chat right now. Yes. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you for the compliments on my energy. Yes, I do try and work hard, although I am kind of dehydrated. I could do with water. I hope you're drinking water, by the way. So this slide kind of demonstrates the difference between saving, compounding different amounts per month, but also the last two columns show you what the difference is between 8% per month or 10% per month. Okay, so let's say that you invested, let's just do like the first one and the fourth one along. Okay, if you invested 10 euros per month into something that generates 8% per month, then actually by the end of the year you would have $1 million. However, if you compounded 4 times as much, 40 euros per month, this is the fourth column along, then by the end of 10 years you would actually have acquired a $5.5 million account by the end of that term. Okay, I've done an exercise. One of the exercises that we do in the is one of the qualifications you can get is a Master Profi certification, and I've done this course myself. And I've also I'm doing the Marathon 260 at the moment as well, because I'm constantly educating myself. Okay, and as part of Marathon 260, one of the homeworks was to calculate at 1%, 2%, and 3% per month if you were saving $100 per month. Okay, and compounding at 1%, 2%, and 3% per month. And calculating that monthly for 30 years, okay? And I did that. I hand wrote it, I calculated it and hand wrote it. You could do a spreadsheet, but it's not as powerful as if you actually hand write it down. And it literally took me 2 days, okay? Because it takes a long time. It's a lot of writing and it hurt my back, okay? And don't forget, I'm a data analyst. I know how to do spreadsheets. I can do that like in, give me like 10 minutes and I can knock that up. But it's not as powerful. It's more powerful when you do it by hand. And I can tell you just that couple of percent is huge, okay? The power is in the pen, okay? And in blue ink, by the way, not black. Okay, so this brings me to the next part of the thing. So guys, type a C in the chat if you're looking forward to capitalization. This is actually a really, really cool thing to learn about. Type a C in the chat if you want to know what capitalization is. Type a C in the chat if you are bored and you don't want to know what capitalization is, but you're just hoping for this to finish. Type a C in the chat anyway. Miriam typed a C right at that time that I said that. What are you trying to say? What are you trying to say? What are you saying, Zanny? You're bored? Oh, Jesus. Okay, so yeah, thank you for the C's in the chat. Capitalization, I love this bit, right? Capitalization is, well, here are some definitions, okay? Here's a really interesting thing. The higher net worth someone is, millionaires and billionaires and trillionaires, okay, do you think that they keep their money in the bank? Yes or no? Put a Y for yes or an N for no, right? If you had $1 billion, would you leave it in the bank account, right? Type a Y for yes or an N for no. It's really obvious. No, exactly, right? Billionaires and millionaires, they buy companies, okay? So their net worth is not measured in terms of their bank account. Their net worth is measured in terms of their portfolio of what they own, right? And the assets that they own, okay? So yeah, assets, less liabilities, okay? I'm going to tell you about capitalization right now, okay? So capitalization, this chart is really cool, okay? It looks complicated to start with, but it's actually very simple, okay? So watch as Magic Mo makes all of this really simple, okay? If you had $30 per month that you were saving over 30 years, and you can type this in a calculator, $30 times 12 months times 12 times 30 years is $10,800 is what you would save if you just stuck that under the bed, okay? $10,800. Now, contrast this with, what if you put that $30 into something that is delivering you 1% every month or 12% per year? So if you do that over 30 years, okay, then again, you can calculate that and you would wind up with a figure of $105,897, okay? So rather than the $10,800 of actual cash that you put in, that you would have saved if you just stuck it under the bed, right? You actually have $105,000 instead, 10 times as much, just for that 1% per month, okay? Type wow if you are wowed by that. Type wow in the chat, okay? 10 times as much just by not putting it under the bed, putting it in something that delivered 1% per month. It's a wow, 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 wow. Exactly, right? Let's play some boom chicka wow, 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 okay? I'm like the cat in Red Dwarf. So this brings us to the next term, which is capitalization, okay? And we've actually got a slide for this, but I'll explain it just before the slide. Well, actually, no, we'll just do it on the slide. Oh my gosh, we've got this slide? Oh, okay. Okay, look, let's just go back. Let's just go back because capitalization is basically the difference between that 105,000 figure and the amount that you would have saved had you just put it under the bed, the 10,800. So the capitalization is $95,000. So look, let's look at the practical example of Mr. Alex and Mr. Bob, okay? So what will be the savings of Alex and Bob by the end of their term of savings? So Alex, he is saving every month $200 per month over 30 years. Okay, whereas Bob is saving twice as much, $400, over a period of 20 years. Okay, so they both are saving at a rate of 8% per year. Okay, so who do you think, you can type A for Alex or B for Bob, who do you think, is it A, Alex, who is going to be better off after 30 years, or is it B, Bob, who is going to be better off after 20 years, but saving twice as much? A for Alex, B for Bob, who do you think does better in life? Type A or B in the chat. A, okay, Jacqueline says A. Who else? Who else thinks what? Think about it. Don't calculate it. Just first thing that comes out of your head. What do you think? A. Okay, Alex. Okay. It's okay to have some B's. If some of you think B, don't be shy. Type what you think. We've only had 2 answers. Come on. Okay, okay, okay. Oh, yeah, but Richard's been here a million times, so he already knows. Okay, someone else. Come on, let's go. More A's and more B's. No one has said B yet. Come on, someone's got to think B. Oh, Wendy thinks it's a B. You're brave to say that. You're brave to say that. Anyone else thinks it's a B? Anyone else? Angela thinks it's an A. Anyone else? Wow. Well, you know what? Those of you that are answering A, you're right. And don't worry about it if you answer B. You see, you might think that saving twice as much and catching up 10 years later, right, is actually going to help. But actually, you know what? This is the result, okay? Basically, Alex puts in his capital of $72,000 by the end of his 30-year period. But because of the 8% per year and the extra 10 years, his capitalization, well, his portfolio is now worth $281,000, okay? Whereas Bob, he's put in more over 20 years than Alex did in 30 years. So Alex has put in 96,000 over 20 years because he put in double the amount over 20 years, 10 years less time. But at the same 8% per year, he's only created a capital that's worth $227,000. So it goes to show that a little invested over a longer term is better than trying to invest more over a shorter term, okay? Yes, you're with Alex. He did the right thing. Well done, Jacqueline. Exactly, and everyone would be, okay? Now here is his capitalization, okay? The $281,000, which is what his portfolio is now worth, minus the $72,000 of real money that he put in, is $209,000. And that is the capitalization, okay? So type a Y in the chat if you are learning something. Type a Y in the chat if you are learning something. Time definitely matters in investment. That's right, Sydney. That's right, Sydney. Well done. Everyone give a round of 8s to Sydney for the fact that he's just learned that. That's amazing, okay? So put a round of 8s in the chat to recognize Sydney's learning there, okay? Right? More 8s. Thank you, Ainsley. Thank you, Jacqueline. Thank you, Fusi, right? And thank you, Sydney, right? So this is the homework that I mentioned. This is the homework that I mentioned earlier, right? And I did this, I hand wrote it. So at 1%, 2% and 3% per month, okay? If you save $100 or 100 euros, whatever, per month, and you put it in something that is growing at 1% per month, 2% per month, 3% per month, and you see what the gains are, okay? But you would be surprised. I'm just going to tell you that after 30 years, okay, after 30 years, do you think it is, for this first case, 1% per month, do you think that after 30 years you would have $1 million? Yes or no? Put a Y or an N. Oh no, you know what? It ain't so. It ain't so. I don't mind about the answers, Ainsley. It's all good, right? So look, guys. If you're willing to play this game, right, put a 1 in the chat if you think that if you're gonna make more than $1 million saving at 1% per month, right, after 30 years of saving $100 a month? Okay, no. Okay. Anyone else is a yes or a no? Y or no? Y or N? Y or N? Okay, Ainsley reckons that after 30 years you'd have $1 million. Yasmin reckons no. That's interesting. That's interesting. Come on, 30 years. 30 years, 1% per month, saving $100 a month over 30 years. Really, you don't think it's a, so some of you, it's about evens for yeses and nos. Well, the actual truth is you don't even make $500,000. You only make $1/3 pretty much. But the magic 3%, so 2%, actually 2% gets it. 2% gets to about $8 million or something, okay? But 3%, I think from memory, I've got my paperwork upstairs, but it goes over $100 million, which is a real surprise. I was surprised, okay? So just that couple of percent makes a huge amount of difference. If you do that every month for 30 years, okay, the same amount. So that is the power of compounding, guys. The power of compounding. So look, what do you do next in order to live your dream life in the next 3 months? Okay. Do you have a vision board that looks something like this? A nice car, nice house, happy family, holidays, cruises, seeing the world, happiness. Do you have a vision board of, well, at least a dream for the future that kind of looks like this? You know, you probably do, okay? So what do you need to do next in order to do that, okay? What next? What next? What next indeed? Come on, slides, tell us what is next. These are the actions, okay? You've got to learn the 8 rules of the private investor, but not only that, you've got to apply the knowledge, okay? You've got to apply these rules in your life every day, okay? You've got to share these rules with other people and teach it, because if you don't teach it, then you won't really ingrain it into your own being. And that is why we want to teach. That's why I want to teach. That's why I'm passionate about teaching you, okay? That's why Andre, who is the CEO of our company, originally woke up and decided, you know what? I need to teach this to people, okay? Paul Mouquet Ecole, nice to see you. First time I've seen you. Thank you. Yeah, you need to keep learning about the financial world. Things change, okay? Crypto comes along, right? You need to keep up with the news, and I don't mean the mainstream news. I mean the news that you won't hear, that they are printing trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars to pay for the furlough payments and to rescue all the businesses because they shut down all the small businesses because of the lockdown, okay? People stopped being able to earn money from their jobs for a while. And so how did they pay for that? They've been printing money. Learn about the financial world and where money comes from, you know, and you can learn all of this stuff. We have an academy that is dedicated to teaching you this stuff, okay? And that's really what you're paying for when you come into our company. You're learning how to absolutely dominate financially in life. And not only that, you get, as a bonus, you happen to get shares for free as a bonus that are going to be worth a huge amount because they bring passive income. Start creating your passive income. Okay, guys? So guys, again, put PI in the chat. If you want passive income, if you want a passive income lifestyle where you do not need to rely on having a job for your income, because all of your needs are met, all of your expenses are met. You can literally be financially free to spend your life doing what it is that you love, which is teaching your kids about it, and maybe teaching your friends about it, and maybe teaching people about it, okay? And just living a happy life, okay? You can tell that I have something of a spirit coming through me, okay? And it's because I'm so passionate about all of this knowledge since I've learned it. Okay. So guys, look, I think this pretty much brings us to the end. Okay. Come back on Thursday for the same presentation at 7 o'clock, but then at around about 8 p.m. you will learn about how you're going to learn about a model about how you can replace your income within 3 months. Okay, do you want to replace your income within 3 months? Do you want to replace your income within 3 months? Thank you for your compliments, guys. Do you want to replace your income within 3 months? Right? Okay, yeah, put a Y in the chat if you want to replace your income within 3 months, because that's what we've got for you on Thursday at 8 p.m. Okay, pretty much. Okay, it's how to monetize the multi-level crowd investing part of our company. Okay, so come back for that. You'll learn how to become an active partner in our mission, our MLCI model, the career ladder, the marketing plan, all the way up to, well, actually to president rank. But if you, because they'll cover the express bonus, right? The promotional marketing plan, where you're going to get customers from. And man, we've got some amazing stuff happening starting on the 15th of July this month. Some of you have heard of an incredible company that we own and where we're going. Guys, can you see how the energy you give me ups my energy? Thank you so much for your compliments. Really beautiful. You're going to learn about the 8 qualities of a leader, right? And I'm going to give you a clue. Education. Right? Always be educating yourself. And the next steps, okay, that you're going to take. So check the back office, but generally it starts at 7 p.m. every Tuesday, every Thursday. But on Thursday, these are the topics that we cover in the business presentation. But come back again on Tuesday. Keep coming back. Keep coming back. Keep bringing new people here and keep asking questions, because genuinely, I'm actually really happy to answer them. Even in situ. But we have come to the end of our presentation. Okay, so guys, this is the end of our presentation. Okay, welcome to the Academy of the Private Investor, and you know what the steps are. First of all, register. It is free until the 14th of July, as a bonus simply just for getting involved with our company. You will get 350 shares in our global portfolio, the thing that proves that our teachings works. Okay, and you don't even have to do anything. There's no monthly payment or anything to keep up with, because once you own those units, that's passive income for life. Every month, not every year. It's not optional. It's every month. Okay. But you might decide that rather than owning only 350, you might want to own like hundreds of thousands, if not millions. Okay. Because if you own millions of this, you know, it might be worth something. I don't know. But you know what? I ain't a financial advisor. I can't tell you what to do. All I can tell you is what I feel and my personal thing, which is, you know, I'm very, very grateful for the crew that I have and for all the shares that I've acquired as a bonus for learning in this company. So guys, first things first, register. Well, actually go back to the person that's referred you, right? Get their link, register. It's free. Keep coming back and learning about why this company is amazing. And it will inspire you to build your team and to unlock loads of different passive income streams. We don't offer just like 1 or 2. We got so many, okay? Elena didn't tell you like the full power of her story. And I wish that she would, but I don't think that she's still here. But I know that she pretty much came from quite, you know, nothing. I'm going to tell you about Armand's actually. Armand's also came from nothing, but he's like one of our senior kind of coaches in this environment. He's been on Eric Worre's Go Pro stage last year, and you have to have $1 million network to be on that stage. He's friends with the likes of Fraser Brooks, and he's a really amazing mentor and trainer in his own right. But he was just a bellboy in a posh London restaurant hotel in just 6 years ago. Now, he could have won the lottery and created this $1 million network that is just bringing him in excess of $1 million a year, right? If not more. But here's the thing. What happens to lottery winners? You've heard the thing about the lottery winners that won $35 million, and then they had a year of like, oh my God, they've now got Ferraris and Lambos and holidays and blah, blah, blah. And yes, that's true, Ainsley. They generally go broke after 2 years, okay? Well, our Armand, he ain't broke after 2 years. He now has a $10 million portfolio, okay? And he owes it all to, I believe he's one of the original students of Andre Havarato, who is the person that we're ultimately learning from in our company, okay? Yeah, you know, he knows how to scale his wealth, right? Because, you know, Andre has a mission to create 1 million millionaires, and he's already created a whole bunch of them. I believe we've got like about 70 odd presidents in our company, right? And when we reach our goal of 10 million, which is going to come quite soon, very, very soon, and definitely within the year. And I know that our current goal is kind of ridiculous. It's so ridiculous, I'm not even going to mention when we're aiming for. But 10 million, right? That's going to require about 231 presidents. I did the calculation. Guys, we are the Academy of the Private Investor. It is an absolute pleasure to serve you and serve you this knowledge. Remember, none of this is financial advice. All we are is an education company, and we teach you to get rich. And we happen to also give you as a bonus shares in a portfolio that proves that what we do works. So guys, that's all there is to it. Go back to the person that sent you the link, and guys, thank you very much. And
thanks for a great presentation, your passion, your dedication, your information, your knowledge. I think the comments in the group speak, and all our interaction. So thank you for a great presentation. We learned a lot this evening. All right, you did good. Okay.
Thank you. Well, look, guys, put 8s in the chat for all of our speakers. Put 8s in the chat for yourselves. Put 8s in the chat for Jacqueline. Put 8s in the chat. And Jacqueline, yes.
Great. Thank you, everyone. Great. See you next Thursday. And bring your new invites, please, your new members, please, or who are interested in joining, please tell them to come and join us on these webinars. They're here twice a week, Tuesday and Thursday. So there'll always be somebody here presenting. So we look forward to seeing you.
Okay, and with that, thank you very much, and good night, good evening, and see you next week, and see you on Thursday, hopefully. Bye-bye.
Bye.